sure that you price yourself correctly. Now, basically, you have to research your niche. So, as I've talked about before in the podcast, you might want to look at 5 or 10 different people in your niche. And what you want to do is you want to list out those 5 to 10 people, and then you want to put up how much they are charging for their OnlyFans page. This won't be hard to find because it's everywhere. You can go to their page, or you can just look at their advertisements. Now, what I want you to do is then I want you to take the median of those. So basically, how you get the median is that you list out, highest to lowest, basically on a spreadsheet, and the median is basically that number which is occurs the most times in the middle. So if you have a whole bunch of people who are charging 10, 20, 15, and then some other people, and then 3 or 4 people are charging 10, and then there's other people charging $7.50 and 5, then you have 3 or 4 in the middle that are charging 10. That's what you want to charge. You want to charge $10. And the reason why I use that instead of, say, the mean/average is because that doesn't really give you an idea of what people are actually paying. So when you do the median, that means that these people in the middle, that they're charging that because people are actually paying that amount and they're comfortable paying that amount. If you are outside of this range too far, then you're going to have to provide some sort of additional content or something that's going to make you worth it. If you're too low, again, people have assumptions about low prices, about what they're getting, that the person who's pricing doesn't have confidence in what they're producing because they've put out that low price. So I definitely suggest the median concept. And again, you write down a list. You do highest to lowest, and then you'll see this list in the middle of numbers that repeat themselves, and you want to choose that for your price. Okay, so last point to make here is that you have to remember that success is earned, it's not granted. So, if you have this assumption that you're going to succeed, it's good to be confident in that. You go in with a positive mindset that you are going to succeed on OnlyFans, and you're going to continue to succeed, but it's earned. It absolutely is. It's earned through your work. It's earned through the relationships that you build with your clients, and and it's earned by doing a better job at all of these things than your competitors. And if you stay consistent and avoid the traps that I mentioned before in the podcast, then you will succeed long term on OnlyFans. All right, so that was the concept of how to avoid sabotaging your success on OnlyFans. Now, instead of a listener question this week, I wanted to point out a great idea I saw from a Redditor online, a great marketing idea. And the person was named OINE13, and that's both their Reddit name and their OnlyFans name. And her idea was basically that she created a Google sheet with her videos that she had on OnlyFans listed with what content was on each of the videos. Now, those who aren't familiar with Google Sheets are free. They are basically part of Google Docs. Anyone can have one that has a Google account, and you can give permission basically for anyone to see that document. It's hosted for free. And what she can do with that is she can say, here's this list, and she can include that list to potential subscribers, and they know exactly what they're going to get. She's listed out the video URL, what was on the video, what the content of that video was. And I mean, obviously someone could take this even further and do this with pictures as well, so that the potential subscriber would know exactly what they were getting with their subscription. This is exactly what you want to be doing. Certainly people are worried about, subscribing to people who might not have a lot of content, or it might not be the content that they want, but if you basically have this spreadsheet that you can just say, here you go. And I mean, you're not giving them access to the actual video, but you're giving them access to the fact that, they will know more about what they are actually buying, which I think is really super helpful. And again, this was under Reddit user, so it'd be Reddit/UAOINE13. And you could check that out. She has an example of the spreadsheet on Reddit, which you can kind of see because anyone can see that. And then you can replicate that. And she brought that up on Reddit. So she definitely wants other people to utilize that knowledge. I just thought it was a really clever idea. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that episode. Again, my name is Richard Lewis. I am the founder of OnlyFans Hero and the owner of the OnlyFans marketing and promotion company called SEObounty.com. You can find this podcast on Instagram at OnlyFans Secrets Podcast. You can also find us on Reddit at r/OnlyFans Secrets, as well as being on OnlyFans itself at onlyfans.com/OnlyFans Hero, where you can subscribe and follow us for free and get the latest updates on this podcast. We're also on TikTok at OF Secrets Podcast, as well as always being on Twitter at OnlyFans Hero, where we now run promotion every 10 minutes for OnlyFans creators, as well as promotion on our OnlyFans podcast Twitter as well. And if you enjoyed this episode, there is a blog that accompanies it at SEObounty.com/blog, where I list out the 11 ways that you could be sabotaging your OnlyFans success, but in greater detail, a little bit greater detail than the podcast. So feel free to jump on at SEObounty.com/blog and look at that article. And I'm also working on some guides, some bigger articles for SEO Bounty, as far as, how-tos, how to do promotion, working on a lot of different things on that website that I will, of course, let you guys know about as it premieres. And of course, if you have an opportunity to leave a review for this podcast, please do so. I know that someone recently left a review on audible.com, which is associated to Amazon. So I just want to thank that person for leaving a review on Audible. And so you can leave a review on Apple or Audible for this podcast. It means a lot. And if you do so, if you leave a written review, please reach out to me at OnlyFans Hero on Twitter and let me know so I can shout you out and I can shout out your OnlyFans page as well. And I really appreciate as always you guys listening to this podcast, supporting it. Please tell other creators about it. If you can, say, hey, have you heard of the OnlyFans Secrets podcast? We're at like 110 episodes now, which is just amazing. So much, information has now gone out through this podcast, which I hope has helped a lot of people. So as always, just really appreciate you listening. Please reach out to me if you have any questions at OnlyFans Hero on Twitter about OnlyFans, about, this podcast. I'm always happy to answer those. And if you need a promotion for your OnlyFans page, you also can reach out to me at OnlyFans Hero, as well as I feel we have the biggest and best promotion pages on the web for OnlyFans creators. So I look forward to the next episode, and thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a great week.